Hey, what's up guys, this is Terabyte, and welcome back to Asagao Academy. So in the last episode, John decided that he's going to go to the pet store with us, and we're going to get him a brand new bird. Hopefully, there's another green-cheeked conure in there. So, in any case, let's get started with this one. So, John gave us his crazy proposal about teaching the bird all of Juliet's lines, and then just dashed off as soon as we said it was a great idea. Well, that getting a new bird was a great idea. But in any case, I'll see you this weekend. We'll take the train to the city, so maybe don't wear your uniform. Of course not. Did he take me for an idiot? Well, he probably doesn't know that you have other clothes. Or that you brought other clothes. He's just being John. Mai scooted back over on her bunk and make room for me as I entered the room, hiding something sheepishly behind her back. What have you got there? Definitely not a cookie.
What's up?
How'd it go? Everything alright with Mr. Birdman? I think so. I really think so. Aww. I don't like when he looks sad. It makes me sad. But as the rest of the week passed, I got more and more worried for John. Hey man, how's the play coming? You know, it's coming. We're having some trouble with the leads, so...
Really?
Wasn't Jacques supposed to be the lead? Yeah, well, it's more like the side characters. There's a lot to juggle there. I've been busy. Busy was the least of it. John was lethargic, often spacey, and struggled to pay attention in class. More than once, Shane saved him by whispering an answer when Miss Shizuka called on him. That and...
Hey.
So when should we all get together to talk about the tournament? And this time, actually talk about the tournament. The last 4 times we got a little too distracted. But Josh challenged me to a marionette party match. I couldn't let my throne be claimed.
Yeah, whatever.
You don't even hold the throne anymore. Anyways, when works for everybody? We should do it this weekend.
Uh-huh.
I can do it then. Sounds good to me. I've got notes from last time. You just wait. The ascent passed around the table until it reached John. Well, He glanced at me, then looked away. I can't really this weekend. I've got lots of stuff for the play.
Really?
Really? I mean, if you can't, you can't, but we should meet sometime soon. The tournament's not far away. Yeah, neither is the play. Right, they're on the same weekend, aren't they? That's rough. Take your time then, I guess. We'll figure something out. I'll come over on Friday and we can brainstorm, PBG. Sounds good? Yeah, thanks, dude. I felt so bad for John. But it was okay. We would get a new Jacques. Once that was over, we'd hopefully have time to practice, and John would start feeling better and getting his work done. It was just a matter of time. Or so you think. I mean, come on now. As soon as class was over on Friday, I left Mai behind, sprinting back to the dorms so fast I didn't even have time to check with John about finalizing the plans. I was too excited. I changed into my favorite sweater and green shirt combo, releasing a contented sigh as the soft material encompassed my body. I rubbed my hands across my sweater, humming contentedly. The Asagao uniforms were nice, but they could be stiff and starched. The fact that I only had 2 meant that I had to wear them longer than I liked. It was always an unadulterated joy to put on other clothes. And John and I were going into the city to find him a new Jacques, and I was ready. In all the time I was at Asagao, I had yet to visit the city nearby. I hadn't even been to a big city since I was a kid. With slight nerves buzzing in my mind, I sat down and waited. Mai was at the volleyball practice, so I had nobody to talk to. But I figured John wouldn't take long. I'd literally just seen him in class. Won't be much longer. Well, he's gotta change too, Hana. He was probably on the staircase now. She's still waiting. Where the hell was he? Was I supposed to meet him somewhere? I didn't have his number, so I couldn't call him. I could go to his dorm and risk missing him on the way, or... Finally, there was a knock at my door. I bounded forward happily, relief flooding through me. Finally, John. PBG stood in front of me, avoiding my eyes. PBG, what brings you here? John wants you to meet him at the school gates? Okay, is there a reason he couldn't come get me himself? There is, but... Look, Hana, I don't know what you and John are up to, but please keep him safe. You know how he can be. Okay, of course I will. I'm a little confused. Don't worry, just keep an open mind. Oh my god. PBG smiled at me, resting a hand on my shoulder. I straightened under his sudden touch. For some reason it was comforting, oddly familiar. He nodded at me. It seemed like there was something more he wanted to say or express, but the look on his face told me he wasn't going to do it. With a shrug, he left. I locked my door and followed him outside. Students dawdled here and there on the grounds, much more of them than there usually were. Because it was Friday, nobody felt the usual pressure to go back and finish their homework. No, it was safe to say Asagao was a nation of procrastinators, all needing the fear of God to put into them before they sat down for a single assignment. I hurried to the school gate, praying John hadn't waited for long. Well, I guess that's probably true, at least with the normal boots guys. Oh my god. But when I got there, he was nowhere to be found. There was some weird guy, though, and he looked kind of like a porn star. He glanced up as I approached, and I switched directions to wait on the other side of the gate. Where was John? If only he would hurry. I don't know, man. He kind of looks like Malkovich. He was staring at me. Why was he staring at me? I turned around, peering back into campus. Nobody came. I was starting to get a little scared. The man took a step towards me, then another, and another. I quailed, hands tightly gripping my purse. Was he gonna rob me? Trying to kidnap me? I stared straight ahead. No eye contact. No eye contact would only make it worse. Not even looking. Hana. See? I said Malkovich. And I was right. Oh my god. I jumped. How did you know my name? The man reached out to touch me and I shrieked. And flung my purse into his head. Ah! What the hell, Hana? Wait, that voice sounded familiar. John, is that you? John brushed a hand over my mouth. Shh! It's Malkovich to you. I'm your uncle from Russia. Got it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Why are you pretending to be my uncle? And why are you from Russia? I'm not... John stepped into a small group of students passed, eyeing us warily. Then he leaned closer to me. I stared at the edge of his mustache. Was it glued on? It probably is. Oh my god. I'm not about to have people see me buying a new bird. I've betrayed Jacques enough as it is. I couldn't take it if everybody knew. Ah. A number of problems with almost every single assumption that John made during this decision presented themselves to me, but PBG told me to be open-minded. In that case, we should get away from Asagao as soon as possible. John beamed, the edges of his inflated cover trembling with cheer. Thanks, Hana. I knew you would understand. Oh, John. Still, it didn't make traveling in public with him any easier. We had to take a compartment with a granny sitting inside, and she spent the entire trip alternating between glares and judgmental sighs. I was pretty sure she thought John was my pimp. Oh, my niece. Beautiful country, eh? Oh, the things I put up with for John. Thankfully, it wasn't much longer until we reached the city. John and I disembarked from the train, watching as a smattering of familiar Asagao faces disappear into the subway station. In the city, John wasn't getting stared at nearly as much as he was in the countryside. Eccentric people were the norm, it seemed. Yeah, that sounds about right. We left the subway and emerged into a busy street, small shops lining the road, salarymen, middle-aged mothers, old men with dogs, children rollerblading down the road. Everybody strolled past us, caught up in their own business and paying us absolutely no mind. Oh, they have a store for itty-bitty kitties! Or, well, that's probably the store down there at the bottom. That's probably the company there. Cool. White bookstore. Simple scarf shop. Wow, a whole shop just for scarves? Interesting. I took a deep breath and smiled. The disgusting gasoline-tinted air, the small scraps of paper littering the ground, the homeless man on the corner of the street with a cardboard sign saying we were all going to hell. I love the city. Me too. I can't imagine why a person would live anywhere else. The bigger the better, my opinion. There's just always so much going on. I nodded and John glanced quickly around him. So, let's say we find this pet shop and get the ball rolling. Already?
Yeah!
Yeah! Get in, get out, that's how Malkovich does things. But we just got here. It's my first time to a city in years. And we don't even know where the pet shop is. And it would be so much fun to explore, and no one's even gonna know that it's you. I latched onto John's sleeve, bouncing up and down like a small child. Please, John, for me. Come on. I gave him my best attempt at puppy eyes, reminding myself to practice in the mirror later on. It was a necessary weapon, one worthy of practice. Do we have to? Yes. John groaned. Fine, but only until we find the pet shop. Got it? As soon as we see it, we're getting what we came for and going home. Jeez, you're like a mobster. John wiggled his mustache and nodded. Away! John and I had a great time wandering the city. We stopped off and got smoothies to drink. We looked at statues and took turns mimicking their poses in front of them. At one point, a cat called me from his car, and John went full-on Malkovich on him, screaming at him in his peculiar accent. You going for Malkovich's niece? Do you know what Malkovich had to do to enter this country? You have no prospect. No. John ran at the car, and the man and his friends sped away with tears in their eyes. My hero. It is what Malkovich does. The hours passed away without me even noticing.
John.
Oh, John, Malkovich, look at that. We were just passing by a jewelry store when something in the shop window caught my eye, and I stopped in my tracks. Pressing my nose to the glass, I grinned. It was a string of pearls, an amethyst forming the meeting point between the two strands. Is that something you're interested in? He looked at me critically, then shook his head. I can't say it suits you. Pricked, my shoulders hunched. I took a deep, long breath. It was okay. He didn't mean it like that. It came out much worse than he intended. I was sure of it. Almost. Well, I think it would look good on me. My mother had a necklace just like that. My dad bought it for her as an anniversary present the year she gave birth to me, and she wore it all over the place until... I stopped, not wanting to spoil the mood, but John raised an eyebrow. Until what? Never mind. I glanced again at the necklace, this time noticing the price tag next to it. A rock fell to the pit of my stomach. Well, it wasn't meant to be. I moved on from the store, and after a second, John followed me. So what was it? Don't worry about it. It's not important. John leapt in front of me, arms outstretched. Hana, I might not look like it, but I'm a person who values honesty. He thumped his porno chest, and I frowned. Oh my god. With the porno. Oh my god. You gotta be blunt with me, or else I'm not gonna get it. And if I want to know something, I don't see why you should hide it. Not if we're truly friends. It's sad. so I don't want to talk about it. If I was honest, that was only part of the reason. Yes, it was sad. Yes, it made people feel bad when I brought it up. But even more than that, I didn't want people to pity me. I got tired of seeing the looks on their faces when I mentioned it, the way their brows scrunched up and they cooed as if talking to a small kitten. I didn't want John to look at me that way.
Yeah!
Lay it on me. I got this. Alright, so we're going to find out exactly what Hana has to say in the next episode. I think we're getting close to the end, but I don't know how close. From what I've seen, it looks like we have a couple more decisions to make before we get there, so we'll see. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.